Hello friends, in this video let's talk about how to connect MySQL command line client for the first time post installation of MySQL RDBMS into the Windows machine. So before going into this one, so let me tell you what are all the different ways to connect MySQL RDBMS. So you can connect by using workbench, so that we talked about in the previous video. And also we can use command line client to perform the RDBMS operations. But workbench bit easier, developer friendly, technical user friendly tool for the people to perform RDBMS operations. So command line client also a bit easier, but more workbench is more easier to the people. Now let me show you how to connect. But both required similar connection strings. You need a user and password to connect to the MySQL RDBMS. So let me quickly show you how to connect for the first time. So let's go to Windows and search for MySQL 8.0 command line client. So once you click on it, ideally you get a command line window like this. You can see the version and all MySQL 8.0 command line client. And it is asking for a password. So I set up a root password. So I'm going to enter that now. So you need to type the correct password. So once you're done with the password, then let's click on it. So once you click on it, it shows you the version of the this one actually. Okay, so server version is 8.0.29. So MySQL community server GPL. So you can see the copyright and all. And at the last line you can see help. So in this MySQL command line, if you need any help in syntax or something like that, you can use help anytime. And every command should end with a semicolon, if you see here. And even /h also you can use it for help. And even /c to clear the current input statement. So let us say, for example, like you given a wrong statement. So that time, so you don't want to continue with that particular statement execution, you can simply type /c to stop the current input statement. So now let me see as a first example, let me show you what are all the databases which are there in the current MySQL RDBMS. So it's user friendly word, I can use it. Okay, so how to see the list of databases which are there in my server is type show databases. Okay, so as I mentioned, every statement should end with a semicolon. Let's end with a semicolon and enter it. So now you can see the database, and you can see some default databases as well as some user database as well. Information schema, MySQL, performance schema, sample, sys, test and word, and total 7 rows you got in 0 second actually. So like what will happen if I don't end with a semicolon? So let's type that show, even the syntax is correct or even the spelling is correct. So this time I'm not going to enter a semicolon. Let's type it. So now my SQL command line is expecting another statement to execute it. So that entire, if you want to execute a block of statement, then that block of statement need to end with a semicolon. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm not getting anything. It was my command line is expecting something from me, and it should end with a semicolon. So now the statement is correct, and even that statement is completed even. So it's not giving the result because it's not ended with semicolon. Now how to stop this? So as I mentioned, you need to use /c. Let's see this /c. Now the command line is now free to execute anything. So this is how you see the databases. Okay, I showed you the positive case as well as some little small negative case as well. Now let us see how to create a database. So it's a normal, like the syntax is same even in workbench or here. Create database. So what name you want to put it as? Example. Okay, example. So let's end with a semicolon and let's enter. So once you click enter it, so you say like a query okay and 1 row affected. So by any reason, if the syntax is wrong, let us see that as well. So create. So I'm giving a wrong statement, a wrong spelling for database. Okay, see I am missing a here and I'm giving as what is it, testing. Test is already there. I'm going with testing now. Let's see now, semicolon. You can see here because our database spelling is wrong. Okay, so now you are getting an error message. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your SQL Server version for the right syntax to use the database testing. Okay, at line number 1, only one line was there. So now let's simply change the key, correct the spelling and see. So rather than typing everything, you can use up arrow to see the list of commands which you ran in the current window. I'm pressing a up arrow. So now you will be getting this one. Now you come here and correct the spelling, database. So now let's enter it. Since all the syntax and spelling is correct, now it's saying query okay, one row affected in 1 second. Now let us see the show databases now. So rather than typing every time, I can use up arrow to get the previous commands. So once you see your once you see your correct command, then you stop it and click on enter. So now you can see here. So total database is around 9 databases. Earlier it is 7. So we created 2 databases. So that's added to the list and total 9. So like for example, now I showed you how to create a database. Let me show you how to drop the database as well. Okay. So same way, drop database, name of the database testing. Okay. So this time I'm not keeping the semicolon as a end. So let's enter it. So no action happened actually. Okay. So it was expecting, compiler is expecting a semicolon to execute it, or it is expecting some other line to execute as a block. So I don't want to say anything. Let me type C. Now let's go for a show databases. So what happened here? Still you are seeing 9 rows. Even though you kept it drop database syntax here, since you have not provided a semicolon, so database was not dropped. So total you are getting 9 databases here. Okay. So now let's go to them. Drop database with semicolon. Yeah, it's semicolon. Now let's enter it. So now you can see query okay, 0 rows affected, 1 second. Now let's quickly come here, show databases. Now enter it. You see this total 8 rows now. Earlier before this statement you have 9 rows. Testing was there. Now you are missing testing here. So this is how you write the queries in the command line. This is a way you will be writing all the DML or DDL operations in the command line client. So we have similar command lines for Oracle as well as SQL Server. Okay. So but you should be knowing how to execute it, how to run it actually. So that's all about it. So if you want to stop this, you can stop here, and again in the same way you will be performing the similar operations in the workbench as well. In the next video, let's try to talk about what was the differences between workbench and command line and some other detailed topics. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions on any RDBMS, please drop your question in the comment section. I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Thank you. Thank you for watching.